Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you're all jumped out of bed with alacrity after last night's parties. But we have an excellent half day ahead of you that I'm sure will keep you entertained and awake and distract you from your hangovers. Welcome back to this third day or morning of the 25th EuroFinance International. As always, I have to do the exits thing, so the exits have not moved, and they're still in the same place, and we won't need them anyway. And today we will definitely be using Slido for all the sessions, so please silence your phone, go to your browser. If you need Wi-Fi, it's EuroFinance, password EuroFinance, and log into slido.com, which you've probably figured out how to do by now, and put your questions on there. We've got some great panelists for you, and we look forward to lots of stimulating questions. Do not forget, before you rush out for coffee or whatever, and lunch later on, do not forget to fill in the evaluation forms. We need your feedback. It's critical for us to be able to make sure that next year's program addresses your interests and your needs, and that's what we're here for. So evaluation forms, as we go along, you can either leave them on the seat or hand them to the EuroFinance team at the door on the way out. So this is our third morning. We've had some, I thought, pretty amazing plenaries so far. We started off with Ramez telling us about exponential shifts, exponential tippings that are going on in the world, and how we can't think in a linear manner anymore. He impressed me so much that I think I've invented a new word, exponentiation. And after that, we had our award winner of this year, Spotify, and Johan told us about how they've developed, and Spotify really exemplifies that exponential growth. What did he say? They're the second largest source of revenue for the music business already in a very short time, and not without some regulatory or commercial constraints. So it's more than just a technical play. And then after the coffee break, we had Sebastian and Francis taking us on this whirlwind tour, speed tipping of all various things that could be coming up. And in the 2 days since then, we've explored various parts of those things in further detail, all those tipping points, all those changes and risks that we're facing. I thought it was beautifully lined up between Ramez and Ian Golding, who kicked us off yesterday. But although it was supposed to be risks and it was all supposed to be about frightening us, I thought it was remarkable that Ian started off by saying this is the best of times. We'll live longer, eat better, have better lives than any other humans in the history of the world. And that was an interesting point. I thought his other point was quite interesting as well, which was that there are really no excuses for us. We've had 30 years of the best corporate returns in history, and if we're not making money now, it's because we're too slow or just not doing the right things. And that was an interesting reflection, and we don't often hear that because we talk a lot about risks and problems and so on, and this was more about opportunities. His talk was Renaissance 2.0, and he did allude to the fact that the first Renaissance, which was centered around Florence, was brought down by some fundamentalist, fire-wielding monks under Savonarola, and his bonfire of the vanities. And that's an interesting thought. He also said that, yes, we've had the highest corporate returns for the past couple of decades ever in history, but we are likely to return to something like a mean reversion. So maybe no exponentiation in corporate returns. That is a more sobering thought. I thought the other interesting parallel is when Ramez was asked about what he's most worried about, he said cybersecurity, which is fair enough. We're all worried about that. Definitely in my stream, I was very worried about it. But the interesting thing is Ian Golding, when he was asked what he was most worried about, he said pandemics. And why I find that interesting is because a couple of weeks ago at Cybos, we had a cyber specialist telling all the assembled bankers that cybersecurity should be thought of like a disease. You will have viruses. We have the sort of physical world viruses floating around our body all the time, and our immune systems mostly, if we don't have too many hangovers and all that kind of stuff, mostly our immune systems kill all the viruses and keep us functioning. And this lady at Cybos was saying it's the same thing for cyber. We need to have personal and corporate and societal immune systems that will make us resilient to the various cyber risks we're facing, which are real. But her point was, don't think you're going to be able to block yourself off from cyber attacks. And what she was saying to the banks, at least, is you are being attacked now, whether you know it or not. And so you better have a good immune system within your technical systems to fight off and manage that attack, because that's the issue now, is managing the cyber risk rather than avoiding it completely. I thought that was very interesting. So to build on all that, we've got a fantastic lineup for you today. We've got Sri Ramaswamy from McKinsey talking about how to survive the Internet of Things, and we've heard a little bit about that in the past couple of days, and he's going to expand on that, and that's definitely a major change. Following that, we've got Amish Parashar from Yamaha Motor Ventures, of all things, but in Silicon Valley, not somewhere, where is it? In south of Tokyo, right? Yamaha. So about innovation and how corporates can do innovation. So I think that's a very interesting theme. After the coffee break, we have Yanis Varoufakis, who was probably all of you know who he was, but anyway, he was the former finance minister of Greece, and that promises to be a very interesting session. And after him, we have a panel run by Isabella Kaminska, who, if you don't know her, she is one of the best commentators on fintech and blockchain and stuff like that, and definitely the most lively writer on that subject. She's absolutely brilliant. If you don't know her, go and check out FT Alphaville, and of course you'll be hearing from her before lunch. So it's a great morning we've got lined up for you, and with no further ado, I'd like to invite